So I was born and raised in Las Vegas. When I left here at 18 years old. Came back at 27. So I was going for 9 years. I love Las Vegas. I think Las Vegas can teach you a lot of things. I feel like if you well disciplined, you can live in Las Vegas. I feel like Las Vegas have all the temptations there. So if you have strong-minded kids, or you can even teach your kids about the things to do or not to do, and they have the temptations right in front of them. So if you can actually be able to willpower yourself not to do those things, it actually makes out better, because it's just like the worst city in comparison to the world to grow up in. People think so because of all the temptations that it has. So I went to Washington to play basketball, and then from there I ended up going to Montana to play for the University of Montana. I ended up tearing both my ACLs. And after I tore my ACLs, I kind of quit playing basketball and went to find a new passion. So then I used to draw the wildlife outside of Montana. So like bison, horses, and cows and all that stuff. So I ended up drawing a horse in black and white, and then I entered into the county fair in Montana, and I ended up taking first place for the art show. So then they auctioned it off and it sold for $2,000. And so then once I seen that, I was just like, hey, I'm gonna stick with art. So then I started drawing wildlife from everywhere. I always loved animals. So then I didn't really start loving art until after I went through my divorce. So then I started wanting to tell stories through my art. So I used animals to kind of express my feelings of how I feel. So I used to pick all these strong animals, cats to lions and so on, like that. So that's how I got started, and that's when I stuck with wildlife. I touched it when I was 23.
Okay.
So I was 23, so I've been drawing for about 6 years, 6.5 years or so. But I touched it when I was 23, and I drew that horse in graphite. So that's the first time I ever touched art. But actually it took 2 years for me to draw that horse. So I actually was practicing because I was really bad. So I have a booklet that actually shows you how bad I was, because people think that you have to be like born naturally to be good at drawing. But no, I was really bad and really horrible. And then over the time, I got better and better and better as time progressed. And then I switched to pastels. What made me switch to pastels is I actually talked to an artist. And you ever heard of Eric Wilson?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so he does wildlife art. And I talked to him, and he told me that graphite is one of the hardest mediums to sell, just a pure black and white, so that people won't color in their home. So then I wanted to switch to something that was similar to graphite, but I could also do the same, have the same effects with it. So I switched to pastel, the same way he was doing. And plus I like the realism he achieved with the pastel, so I feel like I can accomplish that as well. So then that's what I got into pastels. Instagram was what made me. I started my Instagram early when Instagram was new, so that it was easy to get followers and easy to grow. So that's when I started getting sales on Instagram. I started posting my pictures of all my animals, and then people started contacting me and started buying my work. So I have a lady that bought actually 7 pieces of mine in California. I think she's coming to the show too. Her name is Jenny, and she's really what started off. And then she was telling her friends, and her friends came and bought. And then I had a lady in Washington that bought from me. So then Instagram really what made me think, oh, I can really do this full time. Music. Yeah, I would draw through like the next show that we will be doing. It's the pieces that I have will be pieces that a story that I'm actually telling with multiple animals, and I use music for each one of them to depict it. Yeah, just the lyrics of the song. I think that art is a way that people can express themselves. Like me, another reason I use animals is because you can never tell how an animal is truly feeling, because they don't speak in words, right? And being a man, some men hold all their feelings in. So I use art to kind of depict that. And I feel like a lot of other people will do that too, use that as an outlet to depict how their feelings are feeling. When I talk to people, I always focus on the eyes. So if you look at the animals in my eyes, people say my eyes are great because all the eyes that I grab on my animals, I make them like crying eyes. Like when you look at them, they are like the wet teary eye, like the mandrill behind me. It's like kind of depict the pain. And the new stories that I was working on is that each one was gonna have an image in the highlight of the eye. I would say that when I did the animals, it was more of the pain, and my current work is more just happiness, just drawing. Well, music is everything for me. I'm a very soulful person. Ain't that right? So I use music to when I'm it motivates me to draw too. So if I hear a song that I haven't heard before, or I've been listening to a song, I would think of a piece within the lyrics. Especially I listen to music that relate to myself. Anyway, so then when I hear it, I'll actually be thinking of stuff to draw, and then I'll map it out or sketch it out, and then I'll get the references I need to make the image, and then I'll go from there. Well, for pastel, I feel like you definitely have to see it in person because pastel doesn't sit on a canvas. You know how when you paint, the paint sinks into the canvas, right? As in pastels, it's up on top of the paper. So I feel like when you look at pastel art, it looks like it's coming at you. So it's like so much more of a 3D effect when you are in person than when you see it online. But it can go for all art. But pastels, some pastel artists I've seen other art in person, and I see the glares and pastels don't have like the dull look. Mm-hmm. In person is just so much better for pastels. The eyes that I do, I feel like everyone commented on me on my eyes, and I feel like I just destroy the game with eyes. I start all my drawings with the eyes because I feel like if the eyes do not look good, then the rest of the paint is not going to look good. Because when people look at a paint, they directly look at the eyes, right? So then if something's off, your mind would be like, you'll notice that there's something off about the portrait. So I always make sure my eyes are correct and looking good, and then I do the rest of the drawing. Cool. And keep me engaged with my paintings. So my son, when he was here, I had all my kids here, and we was going back to Washington, where they live, and we were trying to catch a flight, and we were like the last people there. You know how you checking in, and then they tell you like last call for Antonio, yeah. And my gate happened to be at like the last door, so we really had to get up and run. So I picked up my daughter, and my other son is older, so he can keep up. And I take off running, and I have my son at 6 now, but he's the one that reminds me of Cub, the one I said that he's the closest child to me. Yeah. So I dropped my wallet, I dropped my keys, I dropped my daughter's shoe. Everything was just falling because we were just trying to rush to get him there, so I didn't have to. So then I didn't miss the flight. I can get him back home. So as I'm going to the terminal. And I dropped all those things. I turn back around, my son not there. So then I check in, and then I see him coming because he has my wallet, the shoe. He picked up everything that I had dropped and came back and was like, Dad, I got everything. So that was like my favorite story. I like to tell that story. He went back and got everything that I dropped and still found me. Success? For me, success, I would say success is just having a good life, a healthy life. That would be success for me. What I achieve for is just to have, keep me financially stable and my kids financially stable so they can just live life, not be like a millionaire, just where we could just do the minor things in life. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I had a kid at the art district tell me, it looks like a picture. I'm like, thank you. So I was like, it's not for sure. But no, what's funny is that I had a tiger, a big 60 by 40 inch tiger that was drinking water. And I hung it at the art district unframed, And so I guess you already know where I'm going with this story. So all the kids would come around and be like, oh, look, the water, and put their hands on the painting, right? And they get all this chalk on them. So then at the end of the night, I have all these handprints of kids that touched it. But I was there present telling them not to touch it. It's just when I'm talking to the parents, the kids will run by me and actually touch my painting. But I do have a funny story with my kids. I was doing a commission portrait for Jesse Vargas, the professional boxer. And I got done with his painting, and I put his painting in my room. My kids know not to go in Dad's art room ever. But my sister was watching my kids at the time and let my kids in the art room. So my kids took the chalk of the pastels and started drawing on my portrait. So I had to throw the whole thing away and start over. And I was done and completed. And it was this size right here. So so it took probably about 2.5, 3 weeks. And I had to start that one all over. Yeah, if you don't come see my show, follow me on Snow Art 3. But definitely come see my show. That way you can get a perception of how you see my work in person. So when you see it in your house, you see it. When someone comes in your house, they be like, that's a great painting. And it's better than paint.
And you're going to be here at the show to talk to people, right?
Right, I'll be here. Yeah, I'll be here from 4 to 10 all the time.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
I'm trying to get a canvas print made so I can do a drawing and get a free print out, like a free canvas print. Like people put the money for a drawing, like a $5 raffle. Yeah, thanks for watching my interview.
That was a good one.
Any other great questions, Mel?